Hey guys, welcome back to another video related to GitHub permission denied issue. A lot of you guys have asked me to create another separate video on this topic to resolve the issue without removing the credentials from the credentials manager. So in this tutorial, we will go through setting up your SSH key for different accounts so that you don't have to go back and keep deleting your credentials from the credentials manager. So without further ado, let's get started. Here you can see I have one project which is GitHub permission denied project that I used on last tutorial. So if I try to commit this project to my GitHub account, it will give me the same permission denied issue. So how we can fix that? So at first, let's create a SSH key for both GitHub accounts. You guys can follow along as well with the command that I type in my terminal, and you can find this in the description section as well. But first type in SSH gen -t brsa P4096 -c. You can write your Gmail account associated with your GitHub right in mine. So once you're done with that, hit enter. Now it will generate a public private RSA key pair. Now you have to enter file in which you want to save the key. So for me, it's this one. Now I'll just give the name of the file. So I'll just give the whole path where I want to save my file along with the file name at the end. I'll just paste it over here. So wherever you want to save this RSA key, you can enter the path, and please make sure that the file path is directing to the correct location. If you're confused, simply go to the folder where you want to save this. And for example, if I want to save it in C, what I can do is go into that file path and simply copy that. And at the end, append the file name that you want. Okay. Now go back. I'll hit enter and it will ask you for passphrase. So if you do not want any passphrase, you just hit enter again. And it says the key fingerprint is, and it has been created. So you can go and check if it has been created. Now you can see that the file that we just created is present here. Now what we will do is create another SSH key for different email account. Now you have to type in the same command. So to get that, you just hit up arrow in your keyboard and simply change the Gmail to different, linked with your different GitHub account .com, and you hit enter. I will say again where you want to save it. I'll give the same file path but with the different file name. So at first I'll copy that and we'll give different file name. It's easy if you use your GitHub user ID. That's how you can differentiate easily between those two keys, right? Now you hit enter, and likewise it will ask for passphrase, so you can just hit enter, skip that, and both of our private key has been created. So we can go and check it in the folder. You can see 1, 2. So 2 different keys has been created now. The next step is to open your both GitHub account and add those SSH key to your GitHub. So follow along. At first, open your GitHub. So this is my first GitHub account. And like you can see here, my username is this one. File name as same. Go to your profile first. Go on settings. Down here on your left hand side, you'll see SSH and GPG keys. Inside this one, you look for SSH keys, new SSH key. You don't have to worry about the title, but make sure that the key type is authentication key. And over here, you need to paste the SSH key that we just generated. Let's go to folder And this is the folder that I want to open with Notepad. Be over here. Well, what I'll do is I'll simply copy the full key and just paste it over here and add. We are done with adding SSH for one of our GitHub account. We'll do the same for other GitHub accounts. So let's sign out from this one, log into my other GitHub account. And once I'm done with that, I'll go straight into my settings. And same as earlier, I'll go to SSH and GPG keys. I'll add new SSH key. Don't worry about the title again. Make sure it's authentication key. And go back, open this Notepad. Here you can see our new SSH key. What I'll do is I'll simply copy that again and paste it over here. Add that SSH key. So the part with your GitHub account is done. I'll close this. I'll sign out from my account and I'll log CodeEasy account again. Now, once you're done with this step, the other thing that's left to do is to create a config file. Now, to create a config file, you have to enter this command into your terminal. So do nano file path, and we'll put the name of the file that we want to create, which will be config. Now, you can give any file path that you want, but if you went with the previous file path where you created your keys, then it's easier to put that config file in your same .ssh folder. So I highly suggest you to create your or save your keys in this same SSH folder so that it will be easier to have everything inside the same folder. Now, once you're done, you hit enter. And over here, what you have to do is you have to put in few lines of command, which I will put in the description as well. So for the first GitHub account, what we will do is we will type in host and space GitHub dash your user name, which in my case will be CodeEasy3667. Now I hit enter. After that, I have host name, which will be github.com. After that, we have user, which will be git, and identity file. And that identity file will be your file path for the key that users created. In my case, will be users/.ssh and 7. Now, if you're unsure if this is the correct file path, like I said earlier, you go there, you can simply copy that. So you can see C call and everything is same. At the end, I've appended the file name that I want. That's done here. We're done with one of the GitHub account. Now we'll do the same for the other GitHub account. Okay, so once I've added both of my file path and set up my config, what I'll do is I'll hit Control O to save the file and hit enter, exit the console, Control X. That is done. Final step that's left to do is to check if the setup that we just did is working or not. For that, we can check by using this command. So what you do is ssh-t and github-7. Once I hit enter, you can see I did one error. So instead of identity file, I did identify file. So I'll have to go and update that file, save that again into X. I'll try to run that command. And you can see it says, hi, CodeEasy, we've successfully authenticated. I will try the same with my other GitHub account. I'll simply change my username here, 77. So it's correct. And it should give my other name is correct in this case as well. So both of my GitHub user account has been authenticated. Now I don't have to keep switching between the GitHub account or keep deleting my credentials from the credentials manager. Now what I simply have to do is whatever GitHub repo that I'm working on, I have to make sure that I add one field in that URL, which I will show now. So to do that, first let's check the repo git remote.v, and this will give me my stated URL. But if in your case, if you do not have this dash and your username, you have to add it. So for example, quickly show you in your GitHub account, if you go to this repository and you have if you click on SSH, you can see that it is right now github.com CodeEasy and the repo name, right? But over here in terminal, you can see github dash your username, which is not matching, and that's what we want. If your URL is matching with the one that's in this terminal, then you have to add this command to change it to make sure it displays your username after GitHub. For that, what you do is you simply type in git remote set URL origin, and you make sure it is using that for your username, like this. GitHub, your username is to git username again and your repo. You hit enter. Check that you can type in again. Hit mode speak, push any changes to your GitHub account. What simply do is get push origin master. You can see that changes has now been uploaded to master, and I haven't done any authentication, or I haven't gone to my credentials manager and changed or deleted the credentials. I simply push the changes to master. Now I'll open one of my other projects related to my other GitHub account, and we'll see how it does not ask me for any credentials, or it doesn't give me any error saying permission denied. So I'll open one other project of mine, and we'll for now just create one new folder. Will be demo, right? See the status. We created one demo file, so I'll add that only for now. Check. It's done. Yep, it's there. Comment or save video and git push origin shout. And over here you can see it didn't ask me for any credentials or anything. It just pushed it to master. Now if I go back and if I remove one of the GitHub user account from my config file, for example, I go here and remove this one here and hit save. Now if I want to push any changes without authenticating, let's see if that works. Added few lines again, add that. And here you can see could not resolve host name and name a service not known. So once I remove that particular setup from my config file, it didn't work. So you make sure that your setup file has all the correct details in, file path has been entered, and if everything is correct and if you've set up your correct SSH in your GitHub account, it'd be good to go. You don't need to keep deleting user credential. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.